Hey guys, my name is Katie and my business is 6ShooterCharlie. This is another episode of She Means Business, the reality of reselling, where I show you what it takes to run a women-owned small business, open to close, and all the life that becomes in between.
She means business, engine running fast. Ha, ha. Roads of Texas, chasing treasures from the past. Boxes of vintage, glass shining bright. Hidden gems waiting in the morning light. Jolene, Stevie, Maverick riding along. Every garage sale feels like a treasure hunt song. She means business, searching every town. Vintage glass and jewels waiting to be found. Uranium glowing, Avon in the stash. From dusty boxes straight to treasure cash. Hey, hey. From dusty boxes, hey, hey. Stories to share. Another Texas find. Hunts everywhere.
All right, guys, we have got to caffeinate to dominate. So today I have Alani Cosmic Stardust, which is one of my favorite Alani flavors. It's really kind of hard to find in our stores, so it's always kind of my little special treat when I get one. All right, sunglasses on. We mean business today. So guys, I am in Texas right now. I had to come down and do some doctor stuff. So I am also going to source while I'm here because treat yourself. Yesterday, we ended up finding so much stuff at that estate sale that we were able to pre-shop. Today, there is one pretty much right next door to the one we were at yesterday where we found all that great stuff. And the guy sent me updated pictures this morning. It's a lot of glass, but glass can be really good depending on what you find. So we are outsourcing. My shop is closed today in Oklahoma because I am here, but business is still rolling online, and so I'm still taking care of all of that while I'm here. So we are gonna go to this sale. It's not really an estate sale. It's more of like an outside sale where they just have put everything on tables outside. And it sounds like it might be a little bit of a free-for-all, but we're hoping to beat some of the crowd there and see what we can do and see what we can find. And guys, I'm going to take you along with me. Again, I will video as much as I can, but again, some people just don't like being videoed, or the you know, they just get a little weird about it, and that's fine. I don't want to do anything that makes anybody uncomfortable. So I am going to get there. Oh wow, look at all that stuff. Guys, my spidey senses, I see stuff on the side of the road and I've got to look. But we're going to get there and I will see what we can find. And yeah, so let's start the day. We have a busy day today. It is this sale. Then I might stop by the little thrift store that's here because I need to find some pants. I recently lost a lot of weight and I'm having a hard time finding pants that fit me. If you're a girl, you know, like you find those pants that fit, and then, you know, your body changes, something happens, and then all of a sudden you can't find a pair of pants that fits you. So I'm on that journey all over again of what size and what brand and, you know, what rise and, you know, and whatever. So I'm doing that. So there is a cute little thrift store that is also here in Jefferson that I might stop at if I have time, you know, a little Bed Bath & Beyond if I have time, and see. And also it is a great place to source as well. So we'll see if we get to that. And then I've got to run to the town to go to Walmart. I've got to get back. I am going to video a whole haul video on everything that we got yesterday. So I've got to video that. And at some point make dinner, but because tonight me and my stepdad, we share the same birthday. So I am going to make birthday dinner, and I am going to attempt to recreate my mom's beefy macaroni. She used to make it for me on my birthday, and it, you know, with losing her, it's been all those things of like, how do we still incorporate her into everyday life without having her physically here? So I'm going to attempt to make it. None of us ever thought, you know, before she passed away, to ask her how she made different things. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, guys. I'm really excited. Let's get into it. All right, bye.
Okay guys, I just got here to the sale, and man, I already talked to them about doing a bulk buy because you won't believe the stuff that's here. Some of the prices on some of the things are very high. But they said that they would deal, and I guess if I buy enough stuff, right? Like, but okay, I'm gonna walk you around the tables really fast because oh my god, guys, I haven't even been able to look at everything yet. Okay guys, I'm gonna show you a couple of things that I found on this table right here. This is Feltz-Graf, it's stoneware. It's got really pretty little hearts this is a heart. Really pretty flowers. I really love stoneware because it really, like, you know, takes the test of time. And these are really cute. And you know, for my little cottage core girly, cottage core here is insane. So I found like that, and I found another piece, and then the little sugar bowl. How cute would that be on the table? And what else did I find over here? Oh, yes. So this is bone china from England, and it's got sharks on it. So I feel like I've got to get that because I love like little unique pieces. And then Otagiri, Japan, with the sunflowers and the bird. There's tons of bird stuff here, and I've already got it in another one of my totes. But more cottage core, little footed mug. And then this is a cool piece. This is from oven to table. This is a Wedgwood, and it's got fruit on it. I think this is such a cute piece. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be a top for it, but there is no top, but I'm gonna buy it just like this. And then cute carved wooden like divided dish. And then there's a bunch of like Fire King. And this I think is pretty with this like green ombre rim on it. I found these 2 plates. So I'm gonna go and get these in my tote and see if I can show y'all some more stuff. All right guys, so there's a few things over here that I know we're not gonna come anywhere close to a deal on these. I just have to show you because they're so beautiful. Look at this. She is beautiful, Murano. They have it marked 45. I know they said that they, you know, they'll make a deal for a bundle, but I know they're not going to come down on this piece as much as I would need it for, because I am looking for it to resell. So I have to have it in like the resale area. And at 45, I can't, I'm not going to be able to make my money out of that, I'm sure. Beautiful, but it's got a chip in it. Cobalt bowl. I just saw the chip in it, but, and then we have got beautiful Amber Carnival. This has the 10 cups that go with it, and then this has a price of it on $80. I just can't. Also, you know, when you're doing these big deals and you're, you know, putting out this money, yeah, there are things that I could make money on, but it's putting out the money and then, you know, waiting for your return on it. So there is that. There's a couple pieces that were down here on this table. Even like this piece right here. Really pretty vase. And then this is a really unique piece. I'm not sure if I can leave this one behind or not, but hand carved. Hey guys, I am digging around back here and I have a question. Who is that? All right guys, so we made it to the end of the day. This has been a busy day. It has actually been one of those fun days because while I am not at the shop, I am usually always working, but today I got to do a lot of sourcing. I don't really get to do this like unfettered sourcing, just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, kind of like go from one estate sale to another, to another, to another, because I'm usually kind of just, you know, trying to get to the store, trying to pack orders. So now that, you know, I'm in Texas, I kind of have a little bit of freedom to go and buy some of those deals. Guys, I am so sorry. I do not mean to yawn like this, but it has been a long day. And we are up here in the attic trying to organize all of the holiday stuff. So, when I left y'all, I was going into town so I could get my prescriptions, and I had mentioned, hey, there is another estate sale in town. Maybe I'll stop by it. Guess what? I stopped by it. That shouldn't be a spoiler. So I did stop by that estate, and you know what? I'm really glad that I did. I still did go into town, but I didn't get my prescriptions, and that's a whole other long story. But I stopped by that estate sale, and it was insane. The amount of items that were there. It was put on by like a professional estate company, and sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's not so good. Okay, so good things about using an estate company or working with an estate company is that they go around and there's price tags on everything. You don't have to worry about there not being a price tag. And it's a little bit more organized, and a lot of times they go in and they stage the items, and so it makes it a little bit easier to shop. But there is a downside. The downside is that they're usually like 3-day sales. And the first day, it's full price, no matter what, no bulk buys, nothing. Then the second day is like 25% off. And then midway through the day, they'll go 50% off. And then on the third day, it's like, Stevie, it's like 50% off in the morning, and then they go to 75%. And then I think this company even goes to like 90%. Like the last hour of the day, and they don't take bids on anything, and they, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So, but here's the problem. On the first day, number one, it was overwhelming. There was so many items, so much good stuff. But it was like over retail. And I'm just like, what? I mean, I did find some things. I mean, obviously I'm gonna find something to buy, but it's over retail. And I'm just like, okay, like I get it that they go, you know, to 25% off and then 50% off and then 90% off. And it's like, but why don't we just like start reasonable, and I'm gonna buy a whole lot more, because now you're gonna count on me coming back to when it goes, you know, 25 or 50% off, so that you're still, you know, making money and, you know, selling the items for the owner. But I think everything was priced so high that I was even getting discouraged, because every single thing I picked up, I pretty much put right back down. And that doesn't give me FOMO. That doesn't
you know, I'm just like, wow, I can't afford anything in this. And it's not because I'm, you know, a reseller. I saw things I wanted personally, and I was like, this is really overpriced. And it just, I don't know, it puts a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, because I'm like, you're starting out your sale and you're gouging people that are the ones that are coming first, hoping to snatch those people that are looking for that one specific little thing, and charging an exorbitant amount for it. So I don't really think that's fair, but then again, they're also trying to like even out the fact that there's going to be people that are going to come and get stuff at 90% off. But then again, I've been there. I've done take-alls at the very end. A lot of times when it's 90% off, there's not a lot of good stuff left. So that stuff was maybe not going to sell anyways, to anybody other than somebody like me that does like the liquidation at the end or the buyout at the end, or, you know, whatever. So again, there's pros and cons. You know, like sometimes those estate companies make a lot of money for the owner, and it takes a lot of worry off of the owner of the items, or, you know, the family of the items. Also, another pro to working with an estate sale company instead of the actual family is they have no emotional attachment to these items. So there's not a story behind every item. There's not a, oh, my grandmother had this and she had it forever and we can't let it go, and she would have wanted this much for it. And you know, we're not in the business, you know, as resellers, we're not in that business of the real story behind it, or that emotional attachment that the family has. We're looking to get it for, you know, a price that is reasonable and that we can add some margin into and get it to the next collector. So sometimes that can be, you know, a pro of working with an estate company, because they don't have all of that backstory to every item, and they're willing, a lot of times they're willing to be like, okay, what is a reasonable price for this item based on the market? So guys, I know that was a really long explanation, but I always love to put in these little things because I've dealt with a lot of these companies, and you know, there's pros and cons to those companies, and you know, I just want to put that information out there. Like, you know, this is a reality of the reselling that I'm doing. So, all right. So I want to show you some of those items that I got today, because there is a banger. Like, I saw her, I went, I don't think I can leave her here, which there's been quite a few things like that today, like that Murano style swan, or the chickens, the mid-century ceramic chickens. Like, there's certain things like that you see and you're like, yeah, you see it and you're like, yeah, it's going home with me. So funny, just to start with, I found a little mystery heart capsule. If you watch any of my YouTube, I do tons of like box breaks and pack breaks and, you know, little openings and stuff like that, because these are just fun little things to do. But I got this for $1. This is Just Play. It's Disney. This is Puppy Dog Pals. It's a mystery heart capsule. You open it up. Usually there's like a sticker and then there's a little vinyl toy in there. I love my dogs so much. So anything dogs, I'm gonna collect. And also, I mean, it was $1 at this estate sale. So I was like, heck yeah, I'm gonna pick it up. Also, I don't know if I talked about this in an earlier video, but you know, there are certain things that I collect. Like, I collect dog figurines, or you know, oddities or stuff like that. Lamps, watches. So my mom was a big part of my business, and she passed away. She does come back to me in different things. Like, I talk about the 666 number, and that, you know, she had a tattoo of a dragonfly, and so that I see that all the time. But also her car in the Great Race had a unicorn theme. I find unicorn stuff all the time, and I have a trinket shelf that has all just kind of unicorn stuff that I find. So I did find a ceramic unicorn, so I had to pick him up. And then I found this little, like, I think it's just plastic, but little like trinket jar. little container, and it has a unicorn on it. And I love when unicorns have beards. Like, look how majestic that is. So I picked that up as well. Now, this piece I saw, and I was very unsure of it, just because, you know, it's really hard to tell, to really identify glass that's not marked. And this sale was so high that I almost just passed right by this, and I didn't even look at it because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to afford that, I'm sure. But it had a $3 tag on it, and it says as is. Well, I couldn't find anything wrong with it, but I was like, all right. So I did go up and hand this to the lady at the cashier, and she was like, I don't think it's supposed to have this price. It says as is. I can't find anything wrong with it. She's like looking it over. I was like, well, that's what it's priced. Like, I was like, watch her decide, well, we're not going to sell it for that because this must be mismarked. And I'm like, well, I found it in a room, and, you know, so sometimes that happens too, is that they realize something got marked wrong or whatever, and they reserve the right to change the prices, which, you know, sometimes you're going to run into that. So just be careful of that. But I found this, you know, it looks very Fenton to me. It's got hobnail on it. It's got this ruffled edge top. And I was like, man, that's really pretty. And it's blue. Like, I was like, this is such a pretty color. But then I do have this light right here that helps you identify, you know, uranium glass or glow glass. I should get some sort of kickback from Amazon, because I don't know how many of these, my friend Alicia introduced me to this light, but then I have gone and told everybody about it and been like, you need to go buy this light. It is a UV light, and it has 365 as well as 395 on the light. Now, this is very important. You cannot just use a black light and, you know, the standard party black light that you get and put it on different glass and hope that it glows, because usually that's more of like a 395 UV spectrum light, and it doesn't work for older glass. So that's when you need the 365. Now, this little buddy right here is 20 bucks on Amazon. Maybe I'll throw up a link on the bottom and show you where to get it. But man, if you have never hunted or went out and hunt for uranium and glow glass, this is so much fun. This is a treasure hunt. So you literally take this to every garage sale, estate sale, yard sale, anywhere, antique store, whatever, and put it on the 365 and just go treasure hunting. And what you'll find is when you hit a piece that is glow or uranium, it is gonna light up. So it's really, really fun to go around and look. So when you see this, this is 365 light. When you put it on here, look how pretty that is. But so again, I would have bought this piece no matter what, but again, it glows. So, you know, that's just an added bonus. And there is a lot of people out there that do collect all of the glow glass, the uranium glass, the selenium glass, the magnesium glass, just because it's so pretty. And then I have seen people who have literal walls, display cases that are walls, that have the really expensive 365 lights in them as display cases, and the whole wall glows. So there's like green, there's pink, there's blue, there's like the amberina colors, they can turn orange, or the reds, they can turn colors as well. Milk glass, they call it the ring of fire in milk glass. Milk glass can glow. Slag glass can glow. I mean, it's incredible what you'll find. So go ahead, get you a light, and I'll just say you're welcome, because it'll become a new pastime for you. Like, go into a Goodwill and just hit all of their glass. You know, and you'll find it in like things that you didn't think, like, you know, drinking glasses, or yeah, candlestick holders, and like you can find it in all kinds of different things, and some of the most like unsuspecting things as well. There's like little glass animals. Hit those up too. Now guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. So right now, it is not just right now, it's been a little while. the glass hens on a nest. This morning when I was at that estate sale, the guy told me, you'll never believe it, because it was like the estate of his mom's, and he was putting things out, and you know, as he goes, and he came across, like yesterday or the day before, he was opening up a box and there was a whole bunch of ladies there. There were 9 hens on a nest. Old, and in all colors. There was a carnival one. There was like, so right now that is hot. There are so many people that are out there buying hens on a nest right now. That is just something that they're collecting. And if you don't know what they are glass hens, and they come in 2 pieces, and the hen looks like she's sitting on a nest. And then there's also a egg plate that you can get that you can put the hen on. And there's all different colors. There's a bunch of different sizes. And they're so popular. There's repops of them now. And so you have to be careful of that, because there's a lot of people who are getting repops and trying to pass them off as the old hens on the nest. And you know what? Here's what I always say. If you want to get something that's trendy like that, like right now it is hens on a nest and fairy moons. If you go and buy, if you have a budget and you say, this is what I'm going to spend, and you go out and you buy a repop, and you know it's a repop, awesome. Because you're getting, I mean, and you're happy with it. You love it. Like, sometimes for people, the OG or the original item isn't what it is. It harkens back to their childhood, or it just gives them a good feeling, or it's just something that they love and collect. If you don't care about it being a repop, then I don't care. What I care about is the people out there that are trying to sell repops to people who don't know and are paying ridiculous amounts for them, thinking that they're the real thing. So that's what I have a problem with, is that, and that happens a lot. It always happens. There are always people out there that are going to take advantage. I mean, unfortunately, some people are just terrible. So keep that in mind when you're looking for that. Now, there are different animals that you can get that are made by these older glass companies. So hens on a nest, there is a 2-piece rooster, there's a cat, I mean, I can't, for some reason my brain, there's other animals that you can get that are like that, but the hens are the most popular. Guys, I'm gonna show you. Yeah. It's a duck on a nest. Now, when I saw her on the shelf at this estate sale, I went, no freaking way I'm gonna be able to afford that, 1. And number 2, I was there like the last couple of hours of the first day. What is she still doing here? Like, how has nobody seen her, grabbed her, nothing? Because she wasn't really that outrageously priced. She was actually kind of, I would say a little lower than market value. I was like, So then I start looking her over. I cannot find a chip, a flea bite, nothing. And she's this beautiful, like, purpley, amethysty kind of color. I was like, that's a cool color. Because they come in all different, like I said, all different kinds of colors. And this one is kind of a unique color. You know, you'll find like the clear, the green, the amber, those are kind of like easier to find. But I was like, she's a special color. And I cannot find a marking on her anywhere. But I do believe, I think I might have found the manufacturer of her, but when I saw her, I was like, oh my God. So I immediately started taking pictures. I sent them to my friend. I was like, oh my God, look what I just found. And she collects hens on a nest. And I was like, tell me what you think. I need somebody to give me an opinion because I'm about to, you know, impulse buy this duck. And she was like, oh, it's really pretty. You know, it looks correct, whatever. And so I'm Googling as fast as I can. I am carrying this duck around with me. I'm like, I am not putting her down anywhere. And so when I say, I mean, she's a little bit under market value. But here is something that I really like to incorporate my business. I know that I've talked about like my people who bring me things in on consignment. They bring me such cool stuff, and that really drives traffic to me and my items, because I am able to offer all these fun, unique items from all of my customers. It's not something I have to personally own and, you know, source and own and everything. It came in from my customers, and they all have unique collections, right? So that brings business to me and eyeballs on my items when I bring in a unique item on consignment. So even though there is not a lot of margin in this for me at all, it is going to help more, like it's more of a market, almost a marketing expense, because I am going to put it out there, and it is going to put little hooks in people, and they are going to come and look at my duck. But then maybe they're like, okay, cool, the duck. Maybe they check out they have a son who collects Pokemon, so they start looking at my graded Pokemon cards, and maybe they buy one of those, or it pulls them into my store, and then they start looking around, and they're like, hey, I love that, you know, mid-century lamp that you have. I'm gonna buy that as well. So it's these things that I'm like, you know, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on the front end on some, you know, on some items, but it creates more business for me in the long run. Because also I have a lady, when I first opened the store, I was like, I am looking for something really cool to offer during my grand opening. I ended up getting my hands on, I think it was three hens on a nest. And I think I had like 2 or 4, no, it was 4 fairy lamps. Don't ask me how I got them. I lucked my way into them, and I said I had to have them. And I had them at my store. Now, one lady who came in to buy a fairy lamp from me, she ended up buying 2 fairy lamps from me. And every time I have something Fenton come up, I can, you know, send her a message, because she collects Fenton, and she's bought, I don't know, several pieces from me. So it literally only started with a fairy lamp that I brought in. She saw it, and now she is like always asking me, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have, oh, she bought it's this wooden like almost like scissory rack that you hang on the wall, accordion racks. That's what I'm just trying to think of the word. And you hang mugs on them. So she bought one of those from me too, because her daughter was looking for one. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes I make concessions on items that I'm buying, because maybe they're not going to bring me any money. Heck, I've even bought things I've lost money on before, because I know by offering that item, it is going to bring more people and more eyeballs to all of my other items. Now, guys, this might just look like a duck. It's just a glass duck, right? Duck on a nest. And I thought so as well. And I got so caught up in buying the duck that I didn't think about putting my light on her. I was like, I'm just going to take her home, because that's what I'm going to do, because I cannot just leave her at this sale. I will think about this item for the rest of eternity. I was messing around at home, not thinking of it. I wasn't even putting the light on the duck. I was doing some other items, and look at this, guys. She glows green. I about died, because I was putting my light on something else, and she was sitting on the counter, and I just happened to just swipe right over her and went, what? Yeah, look, I'm trying to see, I know it's hard on the camera. I can't really do much about that right now. Look, guys. So that means that she does have uranium content in her. There are tons of uranium collectors. So this item right here is not only going to appeal to the people who collect ducks, but also collect the glass hens on the nest, ducks on the nest, roosters, all of that, but also uranium collectors. So I feel like this is like triple threat right here. So it really, really worked out. A lot of times for me, those things don't really work out. And then I end up like getting it home and finding out, oh, there's a giant chip that I missed or whatever. And especially, God, with clothes. Clothes are really bad. I am so bad all the time about buying clothes that I get excited about and I don't really take the time to really look them over, and there'll be a giant hole or a stain or the beading, a whole bunch of the beadings missing, or like something that just is not, you can't recoup that item. Like you can't recover that item. You're not gonna be sitting there, you know, with your little, like a little elf beading something back onto a dress that, you know, it just doesn't make sense, right? So this is what I found in the wild today. I found so much good stuff today. It was so hard to stop. Like I was like, I have got to stop sourcing at some point this weekend because I've literally just lost my mind. Like I feel like this freedom of going to these sales and not having to worry about being at the store and shipping packages and being here and being there and, you know, being available to this customer or whatever, like I just lost my mind. And I'm so glad I did, because this is insanity right here. And I literally found it at a random estate sale where everything was way over retail. And then I find this just sitting there waiting for me. So, you know, put her down gently. I'm like a bull in a china shop, so I need to be careful with that. I need to like completely bubble wrap and hermetically seal her for the ride home. But so guys, this might be the end of the episode for today, but around here, that hustle never sleeps. So guys, I'll see you during our next shift.